Hello and welcome to another synth soundset walkthrough with me, the Unfinished. Today we are looking at Uno LX, a rather wonderful Roland Juno synth emulation by Togu Audio Line, TAL. It's really good, very like the classic Juno sound indeed, and operates in very much the same way. Really lovely thing to work with. Got a few box of tricks here and there. But if you love the Roland Juno sound, you really need to get yourself this because it's pretty damn inexpensive. And also, if you buy a soundset from me, you can get a 20% discount code for Uno LX. That's pretty good. Anyway, this soundset is called Nara, and it comes in 2 volumes. And this video, we're going to be looking at Volume 1. Now, Volume 1 is focused on a drier, rawer, more intimate analog sound that's more resonant with the late 70s and very early 80s sort of synth vibes. But let's put that theory to the sword and play some noises, shall we? So there you go, crisp, punchy and dry. And one thing that you will notice from the sounds in this particular soundset is that I very rarely use the chorus. And that is to keep it that sort of, that narrow, very sort of old school vibe is, yes. And the chorus just makes, I think Lashen gives it that stereo width. And for this particular volume, it doesn't really work for the sound I was trying to go after. So for me, this is, it does have some, when you're talking about early on analog sounds, it's this soundset is not as sort of epic in its lushness as some are. I mean, this reminds me more of the sound from the way Stranger Things soundtrack was done in the first series, where everything was kept quite sort of small and personal, one might almost say. Nice squelchy noises. And for a very simple architecture, you really can get a very wide variety of sounds out of this. And that's what I love. And that's probably what's made the Juno synth so popular. I mean, you've only got a square stroke pulse width and a saw wave, and not pulse width, pulse wave, saw wave, and then a sub and your noise oscillator. And that's really all you're working with from a basic sound generating point of view. But it does so much more than that, and that's what I'm sure makes everyone love it. And these sort of sounds remind me of my childhood, because this may mean nothing to you if you're not as old as me, but we'd have at school, everyone would get very excited if in a class the teacher would suddenly wheel in a massive television on wheels. And you never know what you were going to watch. But quite often, it was just some dreary educational program with a science theme. But these sort of sounds were the sounds that were in the soundtrack. So it gave you that sort of... There was something to enjoy about it. So it's very nostalgic for me. Okay, so we'll move on from the ARPs and we'll go into some bass lines, because there's quite a few ARPs, but if we just go through one by one, this video will go on forever. And as there's going to be 2 of them, that would be a nightmare. squelchy, resonant one. I like the noise on this one. Sometimes noise oscillators don't work very well. They sound a bit too crunchy and fake, but the one on this is very good. I don't know whether it's sample or it's actually the software or not, but it's cool. I mean, one of the things you can do if you want to sort of modernize the sound a bit, you can pop on a distortion effect and add some dirt, and that's what I've got here. I'm just using Sound Toys Decapitator just to beef it up a bit. So this is it with the distortion on. Then off. On again. So pretty subtle, but it can make a big difference just adding that some little modern sheen to the old sound. Big sounds. If, like me, you're a massive fan of early 80s synth pop, you'll enjoy this sound set. I absolutely adore the Human League and Yazoo, Depeche Mode, OMD, Ultra Rocks, all that sort of stuff. Love it. Right, one more bass line. Ooh, Betty. I'll go on one more. I'm enjoying them. Okay, so we'll move on now to the basses, and I'll actually have to play something. I'll move the mouse over to this side so I can play with my right hand, as my left hand is useless. Another nice bit of noise in that one. What happened there? Skills me. Lovely lo-fi vibe to them. For that really, really sort of old school 70s vibe, I don't think there's a better soft synth out there, to be honest. Bit of weirdness here. That one's a bit naughty. So you can even get it to occasionally sound a little bit moogie. potato again. I got it bypassed or something. I can't bloody hear it on that one. Oh, well, never mind. Tried to show you something, failed. Well done me. Bit of portamento on that one. Okay, so what comes after the lovely basses? It is... Got a couple of drums, well, 3 drums, let's play them all. A nice tom sound with lots of bass end. Lo-fi tuned kick drum. And something a bit punchy. And then we're on to keys. Now there's quite a few keys. This is where the soundset gets a little bit more adventurous. You get some nice driftiness going on when you've got the tail of the amp envelope open. This is one of these sounds where it's going to make a huge difference. You pop all the chords on. What you can also do is add some reverb. I'm going to use Eventide's black hole here, so let's punch that in. And suddenly it's a different sound altogether. And then we've got the distortion on as well. And back to the original sound. Ooh, hello. More excellent playing. How many keys can you hit at once? Well, I've got 10 fingers, so at least 10. Okay, one last key. One thing I do like about this, particularly when you're playing with keys, you can control the polyphony. So obviously you go to 12 and you play lots of notes and off they go, but put it down to 6, which is the correct polyphony, and it's going to go get that note stealing effect. Anyway, let us move on to the leads. So even without the chorus, you can still get that sort of really sort of lush, but dry vibe without any of the sort of the stereo width and the pulse width modulation doing a lot of work there, obviously. Oh god, let's put some reverb. Now that's proper retro. I'm sure some of you can guess what the inspiration for that patch was. Oh, so many notes. What? Anyway. Well, it says chorus, naughty. So if you ever find yourself having to recreate the 70s science children's program vibe, you know where to come, don't you? This is very much it. My studio is very warm today because I have to shut the windows to do these videos, and crikey, it's warm. So if you hear the sound of me sliding off my chair at some point, that's because I've fainted through heat. Hello, it's still going. Still going. Gone. Right. My playing is so clumsy today. Jesus. I'm going to say it's because my hands are sweaty because it's so hot in here. And, yeah, they're slipping off the keys. That's it. It's not just because I'm rubbish. Okay, just the one drum loop in here. What happens if you open up the filter on this? There you go. Right, onto pads. Who doesn't know the Juno pad sound? I suppose we have to try something as dry and dark as this with a bit of reverb. Lovely. Instantly we've got a nice drama bed analog pad sound going on. If you don't have Eventide Black Hole reverb, I do recommend it. It's absolutely wonderful. It just adds this sort of sheen of joyous, professional sound to everything it touches. I love it. On that one. Nice bit of modulation. Loving the random LFO shape on that. On it goes. Vibrant, that one. In many ways, one thing you may have noticed in getting that sort of more intimate vibe that I've got going on in this particular volume, don't often push the cutoff frequency very high. Keep it nice and low. See what that sounds like with a bit of reverb on it. Really brings it to life. You know, you've got such really very simple sounds, and suddenly they've just got this whole other level to them with a bit of reverb. Going. Okay, and let's move on to the next section, which is we've got a couple of we've got three sort of soundscapey sounds. So these are kind of pads that were a bit more sort of atonal and more relevant to just hitting one note rather than playing chords. one's probably got a life of its own, hasn't it? Nice sweep. Bit of resonance. Willow. That one's a bit crazy. And then onto sequences. Some fun stuff here. Let's try this one with a bit of distortion. It's quite nice, gives it a sort of percussive edge. And then now we're in Ex Machina territory with this one. Let's put some grit on this one. And some reverb. We'll play through the sequences because there aren't too many of them. Classic sort of Casio style percussive thing. So you get really punchy envelopes with this, which is quite nice. Oh, this is so children's science program. Not if you played that sequence though. Okay, and then we've got a handful, just how many, just so I don't go blundering into the next sound set. 4 little synths, things that didn't quite feel right in either the keys or the lead section. The whims of my own choices. Infinity. That's it. So that's volume 1 of Nara. So you probably got the vibe there. It is very sort of, it's quite deliberately simplistic, but with some creative effects added to it, it can just really bloom. But if you're into that kind of 70s vibe, and one thing I do like listening to quite a bit at the moment is a genre called hauntology, which is all about that kind of 70s and very early 80s vibe, and I think this would be a great sound set if you're into that too. I've certainly done one demo track in that style, which I really enjoyed putting together. So yes, this is Uno LX Nara Volume 1. So this is going to be priced at £19.99 plus VAT, same as the price for Volume 2, but I will be doing a limited time bundle of both, so you can get both of them at £29.99, so saving a whole £10 off the price of both of them. And as I mentioned towards the beginning, I'm running a promotion with Togo Audio Line where you get 20% off Uno LX if you don't already own it and you just think, oh, I like these sounds, I should get that synth. You can get 20% off, which I think brings it down to, I don't know, is it about £35 or something like that, I think, off the top of my head, which is an absolute bargain for such a lovely synth. Yes, and to do that, you just need to email me once you've purchased Nara, and I will sort you out with a code. So yes, I hope you enjoyed listening to that. Little bit of a nostalgia fest going on there. It's a lovely little sound set for doing early synth stuff. And I've had fun playing with it, I must admit. But then I'm in a very much an early synth headspace at the moment, watching some old documentaries about the Human League and Heaven 17 and that kind of thing on YouTube. Lovely old YouTube. Rips everybody off, but occasionally you find a gem. Anyway, well, I'm really wandering off the topic now, and thanks again for watching, and if you're up for it, I'll see you over on the Volume 2 video in a few moments. Ta-ta for now, and see you soon. Bye!